Scene script. Imagine a life where everything falls into place, where the hustle and bustle of daily life no longer leave you drained. Just picture it for a moment. Your tasks, your relationships, your dreams, all aligning harmoniously, like a symphony composed by a master conductor. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Now let's come back to reality. The reality for most of us is a constant juggling act. We're all trying to keep too many balls in the air. Our jobs, our families, our health, our personal growth, our dreams. It can feel like we're spinning plates on sticks, trying to keep everything balanced, and sometimes it feels like everything is about to come crashing down. And in the midst of all this, we're all searching for something more, aren't we? A sense of purpose, a touch of the divine, a deeper meaning to this whirlwind we call life. We're all trying to decipher this grand mystery of existence, and it seems like the more we search, the more questions we uncover. But what if there was a way to bring order to this chaos? What if there was a single, unifying principle that could bring harmony to the various elements of our lives? We're talking about the concept of priorities. Yes, prioritizing, it's a word we hear all the time, isn't it? But do we truly understand it? And more importantly, do we know how to do it right? The mystery of priorities is that they're not just about what tasks we do first or what we put on the top of our to-do list. It's about understanding what truly matters in our lives. It's about aligning our actions with our core values and living a life that reflects that alignment. But what if we told you there's one thing you could prioritize that could change everything? What if the key to harmony lies not in the material world but in the spiritual? Let's take a moment to ponder upon that. In the whirlwind of life, we often get caught up in the pursuit of wealth, success, and worldly pleasures. But what if the secret to a harmonious life is not in these materialistic pursuits but in spiritual prioritization? Imagine a life where you put Jesus first, a life where you seek his kingdom above all else. This isn't about abandoning your responsibilities or desires, rather, it's about aligning them with a higher purpose, a purpose that transcends the physical realm and ventures into the spiritual. When we talk about putting Jesus first, it's about making him the center of our lives. It means treating his teachings not as guidelines, but as the very foundation upon which we build our existence. It's about seeking his kingdom, his righteousness, his love, and his peace above all else. What would that look like, you ask? It would look like a life lived in love, kindness, and humility. It would look like a life filled with the joy of giving, the peace of forgiveness, and the satisfaction of serving others. It would look like a life where every decision, every action, every thought is guided not by selfish desires, but by the love of Jesus. And this, my friends, could potentially bring about a sense of peace and order in your life. It could dissolve the chaos, the confusion, and the constant rush that seems to define our lives. It could replace them with a sense of calm, a sense of purpose, and a sense of fulfillment that no amount of wealth or success can provide. So, what if the harmony we've been seeking, the peace we've been longing for, is not in the material world, but in the spiritual? What if the key to a fulfilling life is not in pursuing worldly success, but in seeking the kingdom of Jesus? Could seeking Jesus first be the solution we've been looking for? Imagine a life centered around Jesus, a life where his teachings guide your decisions and actions. Think of your daily life as a boat, and Jesus as the compass. With him as your guide, you're able to navigate through the stormiest seas and the murkiest waters. Living a Jesus-centered life implies aligning your values and actions with the teachings of Christ. It means loving your neighbor, practicing forgiveness, and living with humility and gratitude. It's about seeking the kingdom of God first and trusting that everything else will fall into place. Take the example of Cheryl, a single mother of two. She found herself struggling with the demands of her job and the needs of her children. But when she decided to center her life around Jesus, she began to see things differently. She started to approach her challenges with patience and understanding, treating others with kindness, and trusting in God's plan. And though her circumstances didn't change overnight, she found an inner peace that helped her manage her life more effectively. But let's be clear, living a Jesus-centered life is not without challenges. It requires a constant commitment to self-improvement and spiritual growth. It means striving to live by the principles of the gospel, even when it's difficult. It means choosing kindness over anger, forgiveness over resentment, and faith over doubt. And yet, for all its challenges, a Jesus-centered life brings with it profound benefits. It offers a sense of purpose, a foundation of moral values, and a guiding light in times of darkness. It helps us cultivate meaningful relationships, develop empathy, and live a life of service. Think of Matthew, a successful businessman who felt something missing in his life. When he decided to live a Jesus-centered life, he found the fulfillment he was seeking. He began to use his resources to help others, and in doing so, found a joy and satisfaction that his business successes could never offer. A Jesus-centered life might not be the easiest, but it could be the most fulfilling. It's like choosing the road less traveled, a path that may be challenging, but leads to a destination of true peace, joy, and fulfillment. But what's the ultimate payoff of putting Jesus first? What's in it for you, you may ask? Well, imagine a life filled with peace that surpasses all understanding, a life of fulfillment that goes beyond what the world can offer, a life brimming with a sense of purpose that gives everyday meaning. These are the potential rewards of prioritizing Jesus in your life. It's crucial to remember that these rewards are not material. They're not something you can hold in your hands or stash in a bank. They're far more profound. They're spiritual and emotional rewards underpinning everything you do, every decision you make, every step you take. These rewards are not temporary, they're everlasting. They're not dependent on the whims of the world, but on the unchanging love of Jesus. They're not about what you get, but about who you become. The ultimate payoff of putting Jesus first isn't something you can touch or see. It's something you feel deep within your soul. It's a transformation that begins within and radiates outward, touching every aspect of your life and every person you meet. This is the ultimate payoff. This is the promise of a Jesus-centered life. Are you ready to embrace this transformation? You may wonder. Well, it's time to take the first step and share your journey with us. Have you put Jesus first in your life? Please comment down below. This is your opportunity to inspire others with your story, to show them the power of a Jesus-centered life. It's also a chance for you to reflect on your own journey, to see how far you've come, and to look forward to where you're going. It's a moment to be grateful for the ultimate payoff, for the peace, fulfillment, and sense of purpose that comes from putting Jesus first. It's a moment to celebrate the transformation that has begun within you, and is radiating outward, touching every aspect of your life and every person you meet. So take a moment, reflect, and share. Your story matters, your journey inspires, your transformation is the ultimate testimony to the power of a Jesus-centered life.